There's a chemical storm raging inside you right now. Dopamine floods your brain, lighting up circuits that scream for more. More of the person who makes your chest tighten, more of the moments that feel electric, more of the illusion you mistake for connection. But here's what they don't tell you: this euphoria isn't just love, it's addiction. It's chaos wrapped in glittering promises. And when the high fades, and it always does, you'll find yourself staring into the void, wondering how something so beautiful could leave you so broken. Love isn't just a feeling, it's a neurological hijacking, a drug coursing through your veins, blurring the lines between passion and poison. Let's peel back the veil together and look at what lies beneath, the unseen forces pulling strings you didn't even know existed. When scientists say falling in love feels like getting high on cocaine, they're not exaggerating. Your brain doesn't care if the source of its pleasure is a partner or a powder, it only knows the rush, that dizzying spiral of infatuation. It's dopamine flooding your system, creating an unrelenting craving for closeness. The giddy anticipation, the obsessive thoughts, the way time seems to stretch and collapse around them, all symptoms of dependency. Love hooks you deep, deeper than any substance ever could, because it convinces you it's worth the cost. But let's talk about the price tag. Because while the world romanticizes love as some grand ideal, few warn you about the shadow side lurking beneath the surface. First, there's the addiction potential. When you chase the euphoria of love, you risk becoming tethered to the person who triggers it, not out of choice, but out of compulsion. You cling to them not because they're good for you, but because your brain screams for another hit. This attachment can blind you, make you overlook flaws, ignore red flags, stay too long in places you should have left years ago. Then comes the vulnerability. Love strips you raw, exposing parts of yourself you swore you'd never show anyone. In this state, you become reckless. Desperate decisions are made under the influence of chemicals stronger than reason. You might sacrifice pieces of yourself, abandon boundaries, all in pursuit of keeping the high alive. And when the relationship ends, or worse, turns toxic, you crash hard. Withdrawal sets in, depression, anxiety, obsessive thoughts looping endlessly in your mind. Your brain craves what it can no longer have, leaving you shattered by the absence of something that never truly belonged to you in the first place. And yet the danger runs deeper still. There's the exploitation. If someone understands the mechanics of your longing, they can weaponize it against you. Manipulators thrive on the same neurochemical pathways that make love so intoxicating. They feed off your need, twisting it until you confuse control for care, obsession for devotion. Even outside relationships, industries prey on these vulnerabilities. Advertisements mimic the language of romance, products promise fulfillment disguised as affection. Everywhere you turn, forces conspire to exploit the very thing meant to set you free. Perhaps most insidious is the myth of perfection. By comparing love to a high, we're led to believe it must always feel extraordinary. We chase intensity over stability, chemistry over compatibility. Emotional intimacy becomes secondary to fleeting thrills. Shared values seem dull compared to the fireworks of early attraction. Yet real connection requires work, patience, resilience, qualities drowned out by the deafening roar of dopamine. When we focus solely on the neurological rush, we lose sight of what sustains us long after the initial spark burns out. This isn't to say love is inherently destructive, far from it, but understanding its darker dimensions allows us to approach it with eyes wide open, to recognize when we're being swept away by biology rather than guided by wisdom, to see love not as salvation, but as something far messier, far more human, a collision of light and shadow, joy and pain, creation and destruction. So here's my challenge to you: stop chasing the high. Stop running from one fleeting moment of ecstasy to the next, trading depth for immediacy, truth for illusion. Confront the shadows within yourself, the fears, the dependencies, the illusions you've built around love. Ask yourself, am I seeking connection or escape, passion or validation, growth or comfort? If this resonates, if it cuts through the noise, I want you to act. Leave a comment below sharing one question this video stirred in you, one realization, or share it with someone else trapped in the cycle of craving. Do it not as a passive observer, but as a rebel against complacency, as someone willing to stare into the abyss and demand more from life, from love, from yourself. Because love isn't just a feeling, it's a battlefield, and the war begins within you.